What up? What it is? What it do? Welcome to another episode of Doc and None Reacts. I am your host, None Flyer, and I'm here with your other host, Doc Holla. What up with it?
Yeah, what's happening? I feel like I'm frozen in time. Time is frozen, but I am still the coolest cat that you'll ever meet because I am Victor J. Freeze at times, but you never see me and him at the same time in the same room. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, because they two different types of people sometimes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
They're always two different type of people.
Yes, sir. What up, man? We in this bitch for the 300. You know what I'm saying? I'm still ecstatic about that. We a master army. That's cool. Thank you again to all those who subscribed and get ready to start commenting and watch, man, because we're gonna need y'all cash tags or emails or whatever the hell we'll ask for in about a week from now. Do we set all this shit up? And yeah, thank you again. I want to say that. Um, you know, today we could be getting this off into our sports bag. You know what I'm saying? We both
Yeah,
are former jocks. So we go talk some jock
right.
shit in honor of the what would it be NBA playoffs starting this weekend and them young Laker
Mm-hmm.
boys. Third seed. I think we play who the hell we play first? Minnesota? No. The Clippers play Minnesota first. We play oh no, let me Google it. But yeah, man, we gonna get off into the GOAT conversation, man. We gonna get off into our personal GOATs. Uh I'm a Laker
Yeah,
fan. He's a Laker fan. So we gonna talk about our Laker aspirations for this playoffs, how we
yeah.
both feel about the Luca trade. You know, we just gonna get off into our shit. We probably jump off into some football a little bit. We just on our sports talk today.
Right, right. Now, me myself, I don't care if it's a tiki torch, you're sitting on the porch, or if you're playing Scott Storch, Lakers in five.
You already know. You know what I'm saying? You already know.
Yeah, man. I mean,
So
actually, I just wanted to get into it straight into it because, everybody's always talking about who's the greatest of all time, the GOAT talk, talking goats are the goats. So I just want to hit y'all straight in the mouth and let y'all hear my opinion on it right off the bat because, let's just keep this thing
so
honest.
wait, so wait,
Let's
so
keep it.
wait, so wait, right quick. When
Mhm,
you go with
mhm.
your goal, what is your not criteria? Yeah. What is your criteria? Like, what does a goat to you have to have for him to be your goat? Is it just he my favorite player because I like him, or do you have to? Is there a measurement to what your goat has to do?
It's a measurement because every era since the beginning of the leagues has that one guy that had redefined the the generation of that time. Like, back then, you had Jerry West, you had what's his name, Alan Parrish from Boston, or
Robert
even
Parrish,
uh that's what I meant. Yeah, Alan Parrish,
mm-hmm.
Robert Parrish.
Same thing. That's his little
Um,
brother.
right, right,
Probably.
right. You know what I'm saying? You had Larry Bird. You dig what I'm saying? But even then, you had Pistol Pete Maravich. You had all these other greats. You know what I'm saying? Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson,
Elgin
Magic
Baylor.
Jordan.
Nigga.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Grandmama. You had cats that really made the league what it was, but there was only one guy that sat on top of the mountain out of each and every era. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the GOAT must have the drive to win. The GOAT must have, I feel a GOAT stays put and wins with their team, lose with their team, rebuilds with their team, and make their team greater, make the players around them greater. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's so much stats. I don't believe that it's so much stats. What I believe a GOAT should have is that mentality and that hunger and that professionalism of champion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so wait, right quick before you finish, if you weren't finished. First of all, you're saying your goat has to stay with one team because we
Well,
got
I
players like
mean,
we got players like KD, who going on the fifth team, perhaps if you leave Phoenix, he'll be on his fifth team, and you can't, you know what I'm saying? This nigga one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen ever in the ever into basketball. So it's like,
He's great. He's great, but see, I wish KD's a special kind of a goat to me. Like he's a special
no,
type
I
of
mean, I'm not
talent
saying he has to be a
because
GOAT. I'm just saying would that eliminate him from you know what I'm saying? Due to your
I would
criteria.
think so. I
Yeah.
would think so because I mean, but he's a special kind of guy though.
I
You
mean,
know
it's
what I'm
not like he
saying?
could have stayed with a team. This nigga just, if he ain't, he like to hoop. And if niggas ain't hooping on his level where he at, he gonna go where they winning at. Cause niggas like to win. He like, it ain't about the championships, it's about the feeling of winning. So if I could just go to a consistent winner, I wouldn't leave. You know what I'm
Yeah, but
saying? But
he left Golden State and them niggas is consistent in the motherfucker
well,
in
yeah,
the
no,
last 15, 20 years.
I think that was more along the lines of they really didn't want him no more. I think him and Draymond Green was getting into some bullshit. I ain't Draymond called that nigga a bitch, was trying to punk him all through like the last of the second year. I guess because he figured he was going to re-up and take all the money or some shit. Like it's supposed to be a whole big thing with him leaving Golden State. Like they didn't want that nigga to re-up his contract. So then this nigga Draymond can't get no money, or they talk about we got to let you go. Like Draymond, from what I understand, don't quote me boy because I ain't said shit, was more
Yeah.
threatened by you know, yeah, we can do this all day, but if we are, what they go do with me? Because I don't need you no more. Now um um we got KD, Steph, and what's Thompson now, you know what I'm
Clay.
saying? We don't need your
Yeah,
ass, right?
Clay.
So, I think
Right.
he, made it uncomfortable for him low key on purpose. But again, don't quote
Yeah.
me, boy,
But
because I ain't
see,
said shit.
yeah, but see, here's the thing though. Like, what made okay? Let's put it this way. And I hate Boston to the T because I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan, so fuck Boston.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
but you cannot say that Larry Bird didn't help elevate that squad for those years, those 10 years. He didn't help elevate that squad to want to really compete against Magic and the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? When
Mm-hmm.
Magic got on the squad, he made everybody on the squad almost 4 to 5 times, even 10 times better. Even though Kareem was the captain, like Magic was the spark, the game changer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's look at shit. Okay, I'll even go over and go with Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, now after Steve Nash left to Phoenix, Dirk had a what I'm saying, re-up, get his squad together. You know what I'm saying? And really make his team band together, work hard, and do what he's do. That's why I feel like Dirk Nowitzki is a good GOAT talker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about the leadership. You know what I'm saying? It's not about where you go, stacking your teams, padding your stats. None of that shit. I feel like if you are truly a GOAT or in the talks of GOATs, you must make not only be yourself as good as the next man, or if not better, but make everybody else around you as good too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can dig it. I mean, yeah, I feel the same way low key, but not really in terms of um in order to be a GOAT, you have to be on one team. Like um LeBron worked his motherfucking ass all around the NBA. That nigga's ghost to
Right.
some people. Um
Never.
and I use the KD example and all that, but it's a great player. Even my man Kyrie, it's great players, man, that for whatever reason or another just don't vibe with the
Hmm.
situations they in. Like it just don't work out. But
Okay.
above
What
and
about
beyond
AI?
that, though, well, shit, AI is different because he didn't. It wasn't his fault. It ain't like he was chasing rings and none of that old shit. That nigga moved because they moved him. He didn't ask for
Right.
no trade, no shit like that. They moved him because they figured he was
Okay.
getting older or whatever.
What about Reggie? Now, I mean, he never really won no championships, but Reggie to me is the 3 point god. Like outside of Steph Curry, like Reggie Miller to me was like the 3 point god. That nigga could hit anywhere, everywhere. he has done amazing things. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he is a GOAT in his own right.
Um, yeah, no doubt, one of the best shooters we've ever seen for sure. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, again, you know, to me, it is about how you elevate your team for sure, but it's also about
Yes.
rings, though. Not necessarily
True
got to
that.
have 5,000 rings, but you got to have some show of greatness. Like, all right, for sure. Um, Chuck, big butt Chuck, baller. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
The round mound and rebound. But he'll never be in the greatest conversation because this nigga has no grings. You know what I'm
No, that's
saying?
true. That's true.
So
That's
you
true.
gotta have
Uncrowned
some type
king.
of you gotta have some type of crown. You gotta have had a crown, nigga, in order to be the greatest, a goat, nigga. I wouldn't give a fuck if it's
Right.
two. Because I'm pretty sure motherfuckers will say again, KD is a GOAT because he got 2 championships, one of the greatest scorers who's ever seen, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Gotta respect that. He got two. I mean, we was having an
Mm-hmm.
argument on who got the most championships. Didn't need a motherfuckers to win because Bill Russell would get it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
you have to have
Right.
you have to have your certain criteria, but you got to have at least one. You got to have at least a ring, bro, because you can't. You know what I'm saying? To be a goat, gotta have some type of
Right.
crown, bro.
Okay,
You know
but
what I
here's the
mean?
thing though, and even though LeBron has a couple with Miami, I felt like he should have stayed with Miami. He should still be in Miami.
Uh-uh.
If you was that good, I mean, okay, yes, you left Cleveland. See, LeBron is a different subject. I never liked LeBron. I haven't liked LeBron since he left Cleveland the first time, and that's just a whole nother story. But LeBron to me is not a GOAT. LeBron to me is a prima donna, crybaby, uh, uh, soft. He's a soft ass nigga to me personally. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him as morally. I don't like him. Professionally, I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about he produces movies and TV shows because we all know
What
that
do you mean, yeah, nigga? Because we
Space
got to
Jam
break this
2 should
down.
have went right because Space Jam 2 should have went to Kobe. We know this, he knows this. That's why that Space Jam 2 was super ass. Super
So here,
ass. Like don't nobody want to watch that shit.
so right quick, right?
Kids was upset.
No, right quick, right? Right quick, right? The
Yeah,
reason why,
yeah.
okay, you know that they offered that to Kobe, right? You know, Warner Brothers, the head of Warner Brothers Studios, and I think Michael Jordan said something to him about it. Kobe didn't want to act. Kobe didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. That nigga wanted to win rings. He wanted to be the greatest basketball player he can play. It ain't no way. You see, that nigga hardly ever did commercials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This nigga wasn't. He
Yeah.
wasn't. That wasn't. It wasn't in his. It wasn't in his shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He
True
was
that.
younger. He'd do his little spots, and there was a far and few in between, right? Like it just wasn't Kobe's vibe because believe you me, they approached that nigga with that shit. I think he was like 23. I think it was the fourth or fifth year in the league, bro. Like they came at him with that shit tough.
During the three-peat,
Nigga
during
didn't
the
want to.
three-peat year?
And nigga didn't want to. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about during the three-peat year or after Shaq left?
Oh, I don't know. I know he was like 22, 23 when they offered it to him. I'm not exactly what year that
Okay.
was. But he was like 22,
Okay.
20. I think he was like fourth or fifth year in the league. You know, he was still young. He was still cold. I want to say he was still rocking 8. Yeah, nigga, they
Okay. He's
offered
still
it to
number
that
8.
nigga,
Yeah.
bro. And yeah, that wasn't his bag. You know what I'm saying? Nigga tried
Right.
the music thing because he was a music lover. Nigga never wanted to be an actor. Tried the
Oh
music
my
thing, got
God.
that out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Thug Poet was the worst. I had that vinyl because I swear to God, bro, Thug Poet was the worst. I'm like, bro, you shoot balls, not guns, my nigga. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't do me like this, nigga. Thug Poet. I appreciate you trying, Kobe. I know you was trying to compete with Shaq, but ain't nobody did it better than Shaq, my nigga.
Yeah, I don't even think he was
I
that. I think
can't
he was just
lie,
had that
nigga.
bug in him. I think he just had that music bug, bro. Because if
Nigga.
he was trying to compete with Shaq, then nigga been in every movie. He'd been doing all the commercials. You know what I'm saying? I just think he had that music bug,
Nah,
bro.
he
He tried to
just
get that off.
well, no, because I remember him on Moesha. And his acting really wasn't as good,
I
honestly.
didn't want to do that shit.
Yeah. But we're not talking about outside of basketball. Okay, you're not a goat when it comes to acting and
Mm-mm.
and music, my nigga. But You
Oh,
are to me on my
definitely not
Mount
my top
Rushmore of
100. None
goats.
of those. Definitely
The
not my top
shit, not
100
even
and
my
none of
top
those. Nigga.
1,000, nigga. Not
You know
even
what
my
I'm saying?
top 1,000, nigga.
None of those. Nigga.
Okay. You would be the undiscovered nigga that's still singing on the side of the, if this was the doo-wop era, you still be singing on the corner talking about
Around that hot ass
I don't
trash
know
can,
why.
nigga. Around
Yeah,
that
yeah, for
on
real.
fire ass trash can.
Yeah, for real. But you definitely my number two on the Mount Rushmore of goats, nigga. It's Michael, then you for sure. LeBron ain't nowhere near that.
Okay,
Sorry.
so back to this though. LeBron. Okay,
Fuck LeBron.
so yeah, I'm gonna ask you why. But I understand the whole why he didn't stay in Miami because this nigga made a promise to his home country, country. He made a promise to his whole own state that he was gonna bring a championship to Cleveland. He wouldn't make that
And
promise
I
good.
did that.
That's the one thing I do like about. Well, I never had a problem with LeBron. I always thought he was cool because he looked like a football player playing basketball. Gave a nigga like me a little hope. You know? But I always thought that this game was the type. If I was that good, if I was a basketball player, that's the type of game I would probably play because of the way I'm built and all that shit. So I kind of like admired him from afar, but I ain't never been like a fan. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense, because I'm a Laker fan and a Kobe Bryant fan. It's my nigga. So, but I ain't never had a problem with him. I ain't never, I love the fact he brought all his boys with him, put them bitches in major action to succeed. Kept his same squad all the way through. Ain't never really changed up much.
Shit. Kanye
And
did the
he a
same thing
baller.
with his boys, and they still screwed him. So you know what I'm saying? Fuck Virgil.
Yeah, but
Anyway, God rest in
bronze
peace. Rest in
people,
peace, Virgil.
bronze people are solid in terms of they appreciate. But he been hanging with these niggas his whole life. And Bron wasn't no big ass gangster street nigga either. He was a baller. So I'm pretty sure his friends was like geeks and shit like that. And then what I mean, ain't none of them motherfuckers look like they was the
Well,
toughest niggas
okay.
on the block. You know what I'm saying? But
See, when it came to LeBron is this, right? And this is when I started realizing how much of a sucker he was. So you're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs like your first or second year, maybe even your third year at Cleveland. You're in the playoffs versus the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard and Orlando Magic, right?
mm-hmm.
The series is tied 2 to
Amir
2.
Nielsen, what's my nigga name? Jamal Lewis, the squad. I think they had JJ Redick on that team. I think they had
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that. I remember that too. That motherfucker was
right.
fucking nice. That
So
was one of my
Catino, I think they had Catino on there too.
yeah, that was one of my live team when NBA Live was a thing. I used to play with
Yeah,
Orlando.
yeah. So it was like the squad, it was like 2-2. You know what I'm saying? First half was just, getting ready to start and shit. And I remember that was right around the time that trade rumors and him being wanting to be traded to Miami or wherever he wanted to go was circulating. And the opportunity and the chance to outplay Orlando because they were struggling, but you're a young LeBron. You're like 19. You was in the league since you was 17, bro. You're like 19, turning 20, bro. You got all this energy. You're mashing everything. You're taking off from the 3-point line, slam dunking on niggas and shit. Nigga, you doing all this impossible, incredible shit. And you quit on your team. That was one. And I'm looking at this niggas like, you're not playing hard because I knew you was leaving. Because how he was saying, I'm not going nowhere, y'all. I'm going, I'm gonna stay here in Cleveland. We gonna take, we gonna give them a run for their money. Game 4 because they lost. Essentially, they lost game 5. So like game 6, you like, we gonna give it to them. Da 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 da. Yeah. But instead of just saying, hey, listen, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to focus on what's going on right now in the playoffs, trying to get these wins off and shit like that, try to bring one home to Cleveland because this is my home and woo wop wop the bam. You sitting here telling us a bunch of fucking bullshit. Now, I'm a Laker fan, so I didn't give a fuck what you was doing. But you lied to the people and then you quit on your team. And then in the fourth quarter of that next game, you barely played at all. You sat on the bench. You sat on the bench and didn't let your team just get swallowed up. You feel me?
Cause
Then the next year you go up to Miami.
Yeah, I heard he was hurt or got hurt or pulled some shit like that. I don't remember.
Come
I
on.
didn't watch that series like that. I was worried about the West Coast personally. But that's what I heard. But again, I wasn't paying attention, so don't quote
Yeah,
me, boy.
all
I
of a
was
sudden you
listening.
hurt. All
But
of a sudden you
yeah,
hurt.
that shit
But
happens.
see,
That shit
if
happens.
you a goat, if you a goat,
That shit happens.
you gonna
That
play
shit
through
happens.
that shit.
And it
If
was
you a goat,
his,
you
what
gonna
would
play through
that
that shit.
be? His third, fourth year in the league. Uh,
Right.
and he knew he had a lot more to go. I just think that him leaving, I think people put. See, I wasn't worried about it because I didn't give a fuck. Um,
Yeah.
niggas almost got rid of Kobe too. Like it's a business behind that
True.
shit, dog. And niggas don't understand that shit. It's a business behind that shit. And true indeed, he left, went and got him a couple rings, came back, got him another one. You know what I'm saying? He brought that
I
back
mean,
to Cleveland. So I think
I
the whole
understand
him
about the
going to
business
South Beach.
aspect of it, but I'm talking about him as an individual, my guy.
Well, right. But as an individual, you got to guide your business accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But
So
like I
his
said,
whole thing was
he
his
knew
whole
he was
thing
leaving.
was
He knew he
I
was leaving.
believe. Oh, oh
Instead
my
of just
God.
saying, no, he knew he was leaving. And instead of just saying, hey, listen, I don't want to talk about none of that trade stuff. It's about the playoffs right here, right now. Like most professionals before him and during that time would have said, hey, listen, it's about what's going on in the playoffs right now. You got any questions about Orlando and what we're doing right now and about the gameplay and the team and da. I will answer that. As far as trade rumors, I don't want to even address that till after the season is over with or whatever the case may be, and we can circle back to that. You want to straight up sit there and say to a motherfucker, "Oh, I'm not leaving," and then you turn around and leave. Like I just thought that was just so fucking like disloyal, my nigga. Like you shouldn't have said nothing. You should have said no comment and been like, "Look, I'm talking about Orlando right now. We're down 3-2. We're down 3-2. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out how to beat these niggas because I want to bring something home to, you know what I'm saying? When, woo wop wop. But you sitting here gaslighting the people and the public and I just didn't like that about you. I was like, yeah, you a sucker for that. You a sucker for that because you could have just shut the fuck up. You could have just shut the fuck up like most motherfuckers would have. And
In that fact, I
that's when I
agree.
first started not liking him.
In that fact, I agree. I believe that, um, you know, I hey, I wouldn't give a damn at that point.
Right.
Again,
But you got people, professional people
yeah,
who tells you how to handle yourself in a press conference. Regardless of how young you was, you have PR people saying, hey, listen, they might ask you about these trade things. Just concentrate. Don't answer none of that shit. Concentrate on this shit. No comment on that if you got to, whatever the case may be, but keep the focus on what's going on right here and we'll take care of that shit off season after the season. He didn't do that.
no, yeah,
His
I
arrogant
agree.
ass.
Um,
You're right. He was too arrogant and he thought he could gaslight and fleece the people. And I was like, yeah, you're terrible at this, my nigga. You're terrible.
yeah, I don't know about that nigga media savvy. I don't too bit much, For all those in Cleveland who felt slighted about that shit, he got y'all championship set up. But for you, I can understand that because perspective, right? Um,
Yeah.
but in effect, the pure basketball though. Now, not my goat, of course. Although it
Not,
took that nigga 100 years to break some records and shit, and I appreciate him playing like he playing for my squad. I do like him because
nigga.
he a
If
Laker.
you had if you took a
Uh,
test, let me just ask you this, my brother. If you took a test, there's only 10 questions on this test, right? And out of 10 questions, you get 3 or 4 right. Is that a passing grade or a failing grade?
oh shit, it's a failing grade if you got 10 questions.
Okay.
You know what
You
I'm
got 10
saying?
questions.
But see,
That's all I'm saying.
that's not how that worked though. I mean, did you have to go through a gauntlet to get to this test first, or you just walking up in classes and taking tests? Like it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Most
if
tests
you go to the
are
finals
from
10 times.
information that you have studied through that semester. Most
Hmm.
tests are taken from what you had studied through that semester up until that point. That's why they have finals and midterms.
Yeah, but
Midterms and
again,
finals, right? Your
Do you
midterms are
do
your
you
playoffs. Your
do
finals
you
is your championships.
but do you play 82 plus, I mean 82 regular games throughout the year before this test? And then what would that be? 12 if you sweep everybody, 12 games after that 82. So what's that? 94? That's a lot of goddamn games. It's a lot to win
Okay,
championships.
so
Hell, it's a lot to even get to a goddamn finals.
it is. It is. It is. Ask Carl Malone, who never got a ring. Ask Gary Payton.
But they made
I
it
think he got
they
a
made it
ring.
to a finals though. Yeah, he got a ring with Miami.
Right. But
And they made
as
it to the
but in
finals
his
with us.
prime though,
No, not in their prime. They had help. But that's what I'm saying. All the great players, and you have motherfucking NBA players talking about the players back then wasn't skilled. Nigga, that's bullshit. Nigga, we have some players doing some amazing shit. Matter of fact, you wouldn't be the type of motherfucker you are if not just Michael Jordan, nigga. It was a whole bunch of players doing some amazing shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Dominique,
From, yeah, I'm
Grandmama,
about to say
Sean Kemp, Deadlift,
from as far back to Isaiah Thomas
yo,
and Spud
young
Webb,
Dennis
nigga.
Rodman,
Bud Webb, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Muggsy Bogues.
John
Them two of the
Salley,
littlest niggas you could think
for
of, nigga.
real. On my
Balling,
mama.
nigga. So I
On my
mean, that
mama.
was some bullshit. Fucking Anthony Edwards, shout out to you with that bullshit.
John
Niggas had
Stockton, nigga,
all the skill back then, nigga.
ill
What the
ass
fuck you
white
talking
boys.
about? Nigga Sean Kemp, nigga. Kevin Johnson, nigga. Dan Marley, when you talk about ill ass shooters, nigga.
For real. For real.
We had it was a bunch of skilled niggas back then, so that's some bullshit. But
For real.
it takes a lot to even get to that point. And I, and me being a Dolphin fan, I can't stand Tom Brady. Fuck that nigga, but I do get that nigga's respect. One of the
Got
greatest
to.
throwers of the ball ever. You know what I'm saying?
Got to. Got
So
to.
and it's that type of thing with me and LeBron. Only he
But
gets
see,
notches because he a Laker. You know what I'm so other than that, it's just
I
another
don't
nigga
get
that did some
no.
cool shit in the
I
sport to me.
can't wait for him to get the fuck off my squad, bro. I will start watching the Lakers again. Genie Bus, if you are listening to this, if anybody ever clips this and send it to fucking Genie Bus or the Laker organization, soon as you get rid of Bronny and his fucking daddy, I swear to God, I will be watching every game again. But until then, I refuse to support a sucker on my squad making us look like fucking failures. That's it.
So
Luca was a great trade because LeBron is on his way out, and we do need a franchise guy. But hurry up and get this nigga the fuck up out of there, please, please.
so that's not gonna happen. Primarily because he made the organization way too much money. No, I'm not fucking around. Bronny ain't going nowhere, nor is LeBron. I guarantee you when a nigga decide to retire, a nigga will be in the office, nigga, the front of it, if not part owner of the goddamn team. This nigga
I
make the
hope
Lakers
not.
way too much money. His
I hope
son
not.
make the Lakers way too much money. Nigga, this nigga's son was one of the top jersey sellers, nigga. Nigga, they make the Lakers way too much
None
money.
of that
So you
shit
might as well be
matters. None of that shit matters.
It
None of
does.
that
It
shit
does to
matters
them.
because it
It
does
does
not,
to them
bro.
because it plumps up their pockets. You might as well get used to the James name in the Laker organization because it's going down. You know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
be.
That nigga
Let's
ain't
be
going
real. Let's
nowhere.
be real.
I'm telling you, that's
You
what
know
I'm saying.
what made the Lakers making the Lakers great was not their jersey sales, bro. It's their performances of their athletes on the court. That's what makes the Lakers great. That's what made Boston great when they had Paul Pierce and motherfucking
All that's
Rondo
great.
and Garnett. You know what I'm
All that is
saying?
great,
That's
and that's true. And that's
what
true.
made
But what makes
Chicago
them
great.
rich? No. What makes them rich though? What makes them one of the top rated sports franchises in the world though, nigga, is money.
Man, see, there
Period.
we go
Nigga.
with the
That's why
fucking
we can
money
keep
thing,
a
bro.
star. That's why we can keep the top stars. That's why we can pay motherfuckers to be Lakers because they make the money too. The business drives this shit. The
That has
greatness is
nothing.
for us. The
That
business is for
has,
them. And it does when it comes to the
bro,
James name in the Lakers. I'm telling you, that name in the Lakers,
bro.
you might as well get used to it, nigga, because the James name is
Fuck
gonna be in the
that
Lakers
and
for a
what that
long
is.
time.
Fuck that and what that is because that's
I'm
not
just
what
letting
makes
you know.
the team ain't doing great. The
Mm-hmm.
team ain't doing great right now. The team ain't
Mm-hmm.
great right now. The team ain't been great since Kobe died, bro.
That's
The
fine
team
because they're
ain't been
making a
great
whole lot of
since
money.
Kobe died, my nigga.
So that's great.
That don't
They're making a
see,
whole
but
lot of
that
money
is
though,
money don't make a motherfucker great,
and
bro.
they
Money don't make a
winning,
motherfucker
and
great, my
that ain't what
nigga.
I'm saying. What makes them Lakers, nigga,
That's what
make
it
is
sounds
money.
like.
No, nigga, I'm saying what makes them the Lakers is money. Money makes them rich. Money gets them paid. That's what they worried about. They ain't tripped off being great like that. We gonna be great regardless because we got the money too. We buy greatness. That's why people come to the Lakers, nigga, because we can pay them too. And you know why we can pay them too?
What happened
Yeah,
in 2004, 2005 season
yeah.
when we
What do you
had
mean?
Gary Payton and Karl
We went to the
Malone
finals and lost. What are you
and
talking about? We went to the
okay, but
finals
that
and
doesn't
lost
but
to
we had
Detroit,
money.
nigga. What are you talking
We
about?
had the money
And we
because we
got some
had the
great
money
players.
to and
And we got
they
some great
didn't
players.
give us what we
Nigga,
paid them for. So
nigga,
it
it
doesn't
was a
matter about the
whole lot of years.
bread. The
It was a whole lot of years nigga with Lakers didn't win championships. You still a Laker fan,
exactly.
right? You still a Laker fan though, right?
Exactly.
You know why?
Yes, yes.
Because if we were,
Because it's about the franchise. It's about the franchise.
it's
It's
about
where
what
I
the
grew up.
franchise brings,
If I
bro.
grew
It's about what the
it's
franchise
but it's
brings,
about the
bro.
franchise. It's my
We
hometown. It's my
bring
hometown. It's
st-
about the franchise, Des.
we bring stars, bro. You wouldn't act like that if we had the roster of fucking Sacramento.
I
You wouldn't.
wasn't born.
Niggas will
Thank
probably be
God I wasn't born in Northern Cali.
even
Thank
if
you,
you were,
Jesus. I didn't
even if
live
you
or
were,
born in fucking Northern Cali, cuz.
even if you were, you would
Okay?
probably still be a Laker fan.
Would I
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Fuck
because
yeah.
when I was coming up in football, we had the Raiders and we had the Rams, and I'm not neither one of those fans.
Me neither.
Neither.
Me neither.
You see what I'm saying?
But
So
this is
I don't believe
basketball, though. This is
right, but okay.
basketball, though.
So
This is basketball, though. If
if I was born in Minnesota, I'd be a
okay,
Timberwolf
how many niggas you know
because
from
that's the home
Sacramento?
team.
How many
A
niggas you know in
few,
Sacramento from Sacramento?
a few,
How many of the motherfuckers are
a
Kings
couple.
fans?
Maybe out of the five that I know, three.
I don't know none. I know a few people from Sacramento. A couple of the motherfuckers is Golden State fans. I only think they Golden State fans so they started winning, and the other ones are Laker fans. Nobody likes
Nobody
Sacramento
was
Kings
Golden
on the West
State.
Coast. Nigga.
Nobody was Golden State fans up until
That's
Steph
what,
Curry and them
and
started
and
winning.
neither was a motherfucker a goddamn Kings fan. That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
That's my
because
point exactly.
Doug Christie and Jason Kidd and they had motherfucking Chris Webber. Niggas was fucking with the Sacramento Queens for a long time, nigga.
You
Like
know what else they
they
had?
had
No,
their
no,
core
no, no, no,
fans.
no. They had Sacramento fans. There's probably like a few of them, a handful of them. Laker fans was filling up them seats during the playoffs. But you know what they did have? A whole bunch of losing because they stayed losing. Like they losing now, nigga. They ain't got no rings.
Right. But why do you think I'm not a
Do you know
Clipper
why?
fan?
Do you know why though? No, but I'm saying even with the Clippers, and you know what's crazy about the Clippers though is they make
Yeah,
quite a bit of money, and they had some great ass squads. They just had horrible
they
management
did.
because they didn't they gave all
True.
they stay giving their little squads away because they had championship caliber squads and they let them
True.
get hot for a year or two and get them out the way, kind of like our
True.
Dolphins do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the Clippers. They
Definitely.
let they stars get hot and get rid of them. The best action they
I
had.
remember you could get four Laker. I mean, you could get four Clipper tickets with a full tank of gas back in the day. So I mean, I'm just saying, niggas is like, come on, bro. I ain't
But
never liked the Clips, nigga.
the
You
thing
know what I'm
about the
saying?
Lakers
But
is,
it
and
was
why it's Lakers fans all over the world, not just in LA, right? Is the fact that we
it's because
keep
we're a
stars.
winning squad. We are a winning squad.
And we are a winning squad because we keep stars. Do you know how we keep stars? And by that stadium being sold
How,
out, them jerseys being sold out, nigga, them high ass hot dogs, them high ass beers, nigga. That's how we keep stars. That's how we pay it. That's why Sacramento can't do that. Don't nobody go hang out in fucking Sacramento for nothing. For motherfucking nothing. That's why they
and I
can't do what we
understand that.
do.
I
That's what I'm
understand that.
saying. The
But if they
business
had a,
side is
but
hella
if
important. It's hella
but I'm
important.
not
That's how we
saying
can
that.
keep
I'm not
being a
saying that
Laker.
because see the business don't make me feel like what the athletes make me feel. And I'm not
Right. You're
saying
not it's not
because
supposed to.
okay,
But the reason why we can keep
but
those
listen,
athletes that make you feel the way you do is because of that, is what I'm saying. It's the reason. It's the engine. We see
listen.
the greatness,
I
but
remember
somebody got to pay that shit.
I remember watching. I remember back in the day watching Mad Hatter, him and his mama watching Michael Jordan and Scotty and Dennis and them niggas up and down the courts, killing up and down the courts, loving them. Now they're Californians just like we're Californians, but they were Chicago fans. You know what I'm saying? Not only because Michael Jordan was one of the greatest players of all time and the ill shit that he did game in and game out, but it's because it's the feeling of what those players did. Now, just because they was out selling them all that high ass donuts and coffee and blah blah, all that shit you're talking about in the business, but it was about the gameplay and the game that made them the fans that they are. You're willing.
Now,
You would
imagine
be
if they didn't
willing
get
to
that nigga what he
spend your
wanted. No, no,
money.
no. True that. No, true that. Understand that. Now, imagine if
You're
they couldn't pay
willing,
that
but
nigga what he
see,
wanted. Imagine if they couldn't pay that man $50 million a year back then, $45 million a year back then, because Chicago was Sacramento and they couldn't afford it. They had to let him go. Then what would they be doing? Yeah,
but we
my
don't
point
know that.
exactly, nigga.
We don't know
You
that.
do know that because he was
We
there.
don't know that.
You do know that because he
I'm
stayed
saying,
there and
but
he didn't take no
wait a
shorts.
minute. But back then, the philosophy is when you get you a team and you find you a team, you ride and die with your team. It wasn't
Yeah,
about the actual because when
well,
Michael
no,
Jordan went to the Wizards, went to the Wizards, niggas still fuck with Mike, but they was like, nigga, I'm a Chicago fan. Okay,
with
when
Michael,
Shaq left the Lakers,
I know,
I didn't become a Miami fan, nigga. I'm like, nigga, fuck that. I'm still a Laker,
I
nigga. I'm
know,
sorry that you gone, Shaq.
I know Chicago fans that once Michael Jordan left, they stopped being Chicago fans and didn't start being Chicago fans again until Derrick Rose showed up because they were shit. Not everybody is as loyal as you and I, bro. Not everybody is as loyal as you and I. You can watch Michael Jordan do Michael Jordan things anywhere. You see what I'm saying?
Like I said, it's about. I mean, like I said, it's about the franchise. It's definitely about the franchise, and I'm not saying that the business is not important. What I'm saying is that the business of the business part. You know what I'm saying? This is what made Dr. Bust the greatest nigga ever because he understood his audience. He understood his consumers. You feel me? And
To the extent,
he risked a lot of things. He risked a lot of things to make the Lakers a spectacle
to the
because
extent that he
nobody was
gave,
doing what Bus was doing.
to the extent that he gave Magic Johnson $20 million and stake in the Lakers because he knew how important that man was. So he knew he had to come out of pocket, nigga. You see what I'm saying? None of that shit matters if you broke. None of that shit matters if you just an owner. That's why Green Bay don't always have hella stars. They got to rely on their draft and all this shit because don't nobody want to go fucking Green Bay. Who wants to fucking go to Green Bay? You know what I'm saying? You have to have it's hand in hand, bro. And I'm only saying that to say this. We spoiled because our owners are the shit. The Buses, greatest owners ever, right? We
Yeah,
stay with a
true.
star. We ain't got to go no more than 3 years, nigga, complaining before we get a star. It's just not happening in LA. It's not how that works,
Yeah,
right? Because we can afford to
right.
do that. So we're spoiled,
Yeah,
right? We get that. But I also know that if it wasn't no star power here, niggas would probably be Clipper fans.
but a lot of niggas are becoming Clipper fans.
You
I
know what I'm
knew
saying?
Laker fans who are now Clipper fans. I know Laker fans from back in the day who are now Clipper fans.
Because they got star power. But above and beyond that, though, I believe. Okay, so back to the conversation. Though, I mean, this is what I meant to say. The GOAT conversation. Your rundown was cool. Mike definitely GOAT for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, so I think Mike. I have the same attitude about Michael Jordan as I have about Tupac. Yeah, them niggas is great, but I was never a fan. You know what I'm saying? All respect due. Them niggas is ill. Changed, revolutionized the game, all that shit, but they didn't grab
Yeah.
me like that. They just didn't grab me like that. You know what I'm saying? I was
Oh,
always enamored
I
by
was the
the
first
Lake
one.
Show. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
Right, but
always
I
enamored
wasn't.
by
I'm not a Michael Jordan fan or a Chicago fan. I was the one that used to be like, man, fuck Michael Jordan. I don't give a fuck if he blew my mind in that fucking game. Like, damn, that nigga really did that shit. I'd be like, damn, that shit was dope. But nigga, it will still fuck you because my squad is my squad. But you cannot, I won't take away his accolades. I won't take away what he meant to the game, how he elevated the game and changed the game in a way where it was super respected. It was like the dominance was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's why I call him the number one GOAT, because outside of Wilt Chamberlain, Pistol Pete Maravich, Jerry West, Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying? Or any of them other cats, the greats, because they're great in their own rights. But Michael Jordan was the guy who like stood above the rest.
So let me
Gotta
ask you
get to
this.
him.
Let me ask you this right quick. Okay, for sure, I guess. So for me, impact excluded, you know. I would I would just flip the first two because Kobe Bryant, especially at a nigga my age, because we all the same age.
Yep.
Kind of, and the fact that they could put it close to home for me. You know what I'm saying? Especially during the times of seeing that nigga struggling and shit when he first came into the league, nigga, as a kid, right? Like niggas don't
Yeah.
talk about how it took Michael Jordan damn near 6 years to get his first championship or whatever, and how he was getting blued out of every goddamn playoffs until he went and got a squad. Because Scottie Pippen, all them niggas that he got were not fucking noodles, nigga. They were ballers before they got to Chicago. Have you ever seen a show called Cancel Court?
No.
Okay, you know who Ryan Davis is?
No.
The comedian? No. All right, so what it is, they
No.
take these two comedians, right? And they give them, cancelable topics, and they set up like a courtroom, and they let these two comedians come up with actual reasonable arguments as to why we should or shouldn't cancel this thing. And the subject of this show, I'm gonna send it to you. I want to pull it up. Matter of fact, I'm finna pull it up so you can see what it looked like. But the point of the show is to have the people vote on whether or not to cancel this particular topic. Like they had Kanye West, and the people in the court supposed to decide whether or not we go cancel that nigga or not. Just a bunch of just shit that and it's all black people shit. It's on All Def Digital. And this nigga Ryan Davis made the illest argument. See, they first thing that popped up. You see it? The trial of the GOAT, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. All right. Now,
Jordans now? No. These are Air Force Ones. The reason I don't
Cancel Court is an improv comedy show. Some opinions and statements are exaggerated for entertainment purposes.
Might get
The
dinged,
views
but fuck
expressed on Cancel Court are solely those of the individuals providing
Hold on,
them
throw up
and
fair
do not
use.
reflect the opinions of Defiant Digital.
Hold on. Yeah, let's do a fair use right quick. But this nigga made the illest motherfucking. Hold on, bro. All right, bam. So, boom.
Or their respective affiliates or employees. Basically, we're going to piss a lot of people off, but fuck it. Cancel Court with Judge Tony Towns. In this episode, the trial of Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
When LeBron James leaves a team, they become a high school roster.
And now, let's go to the courtroom. In this quarter, with a record of 1-1 in a suit made out of a tablecloth, say hello to Ryan Davis. And in this corner, he's bald, he's tall, and he's from Chicago. Say hello to Tony Baker. Come to order. Cancel Court is now in session with Judge Tony Towns.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today to determine who the greatest of all time is. Is it LeBron or Michael Jordan? This debate is for the culture. We've heard from Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. We've heard from Mike and Njoy Taylor and Colin Cowherd. We've heard from Shaq and Kenny and Charles. But now it is up to you to end this debate permanently. We have Mr. Ryan Davis representing LeBron James, and we have Michael Jordan represented by Mr. Tony Baker. Both sides will present factual evidence that will help the jury determine who the GOAT is. I expect that both parties have done their homework and you'll present your evidence accurately. The prosecution and the defense will have opening statements. Then the battle will begin. We will end with closing arguments. Once it's completed, the jury of your peers will decide the verdict of this case. What are the rules in my court?
There are no rules. All right, let's go. Opening statements. This is some bullshit.
I'm here not to tell you why Michael Jordan isn't a great player. I think Michael Jordan is all-time great. Jump man. You know what I mean? Shoes. I got a ton of Jordans. Space Jam. I believe I can fly. Man, the Gatorade commercials. I think Jordan, every time I think Gatorade, man, I think the McDonald's commercials with Larry Bird playing horse. Incredible branding. None of that shit has anything to do with basketball, by the way. Today, we are arguing who's the greater basketball player? The nigga with the endorsements or the nigga with all the stats? I'm not going to get into LeBron James' philanthropy. We all know about the school. Michael Jordan gives back. Not really. But we don't.
Right quick, that's not true. I gotta tell you this. This Michael Jordan has officially opened up 4 free clinics in Chicago. He opened up his 4th just last year, at the end of last year. So this nigga been giving back. Niggas just don't be knowing about it. I gotta put that out there because that nigga do be doing this shit. Niggas be thinking Mike be scrooging up. He don't be scrooging up like that. That nigga do his shit. He
Mike is a real nigga. Like I honestly, for me, you know, if you ever watched like The Last Dance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched it. I seen it.
Like Mike is a real nigga, like, but he's a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? And he do real nigga shit. And regardless of how the PR people in the NBA tries to prop him as a house Negro, this nigga really a field nigga. And I think that's one of the things that I respected about Mike, is that regardless of how great of a basketball player he was still human. Like he was humanized in a lot of different ways, to where it was like you knew his shit stunk. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to like Magic before the age shit. Niggas was like, Magic shit don't stink. The shit is like unicorn rainbows and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I respect Michael as a man and as an athlete. I respect Kobe as a man and as an athlete. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just don't care for LeBron, regardless of what he makes, what he does, his philanthropy, all that. I don't care for him because I see the sucker that you are. You complain all damn day. You sit out on important games. You don't take over the motherfucking squad like you're supposed to. You don't take, if the game is on the line and there's only one shot to be taken, you're supposed to take that shot, win, lose, or draw. You don't put the wins and losses on your back. You don't make other people better. That's why when homie said, when LeBron James leaves a team, they become a high school team again. That's because all you want to do is highlight yourself for your stats, and you're not making people around you better. You make them assistants to your cause, opposed to the cause of the franchise.
All right, so I don't know about all that, but watch this.
I want to talk about that. I want to keep it solely on the court. And maybe if people pay attention today, they will stop trying to be like Mike. Because who wants to be the second best of all time? The defense rests.
By the way, are you wearing Michael Jordan's now?
No, all right, bam, boom, bypass all this bullshit. Boom, all right.
Everybody gotta love the pageantry, because that's what he's gonna try to sell you on. He's gonna talk about Michael Jordan like this nigga is Santa Claus. But let's look at the facts. Everybody knows what evolution is, right? As time goes on, people get better at things. The playing field gets harder, gets greater. Michael Jordan played a lot of white guys. And let's be honest, that's not what the NBA at its toughest actually looks like. LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, James Harden. You can name some of the greatest two guards and small forwards to ever play the game. You know who they played against? LeBron. You know who Michael Jordan played against? Dan Marley. Craig Elo. You hear me? Like Danny Ainge. Are we being serious? These were starters, by the way. Oh my God. Oh, the competition was stiff for Michael Jordan. All these great guards he had to overcome to be great. He never even had real competition at his position. The best two guard that he ever played against in his prime was Reggie Miller, who only shoots threes. Reggie Miller is 6'7", and there's no dunk recorded of Reggie Miller in his entire career. That was his greatest athletic competition through the prime of his career. Let's be serious. LeBron James has made it to the finals 10 times in 17 years. Some people would go, oh my God, but Jordan won 6. Yeah, he went 6. That's it. Just 6. And he just so happened to be on the better team 6 times. But you let Jordan fans tell you, Jordan was the only nigga on the court playing 5-on-1. He never lost, ever. He played 15 years, has 6 rings, but never lost. You figure out that math. That shit makes no sense to me.
There you go there.
Sounds like a nigga lost 9 times, but I could be incorrect. It's sad. I pointed out the competition that he...
So like you said, 16 years, 6 rings. Is that a pass or a fail?
How many times did he go to
You
the
go
championship?
16 times. Hold on. 6.
No, he never went to the chip. Yeah, he went to the
He
championship 6 times.
No.
He went to the championship 6 times, right?
Yeah. But he been in the league 15
Oh,
years.
wait. Hold up. That's not. That's
okay.
no.
Okay.
No.
Let's
Wait.
reverse it. You play 17 years and go to the finals 10 times. Is that a fail or a pass?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
How many times did
played
you win?
16 years.
Wait a minute. How many times did you go to the finals? You said you played 17 years.
10.
You went there 10 times.
10.
How many times did you win?
4.
You won all 10?
4. But
so that's what that's okay, but that's what I'm talking about, bro.
It's like we established how hard it is to get there once.
What I'm saying is,
we established that though, right? In the era where the game was maybe at its greatest, he went 10 times in 17 years.
In 17 years, you went 10 times. So the other 7 years, you didn't even make it to the dance, right?
No,
you can't count
did
those.
Jordan, and that's the point.
Okay,
Yes,
but that's not what I'm saying. You
because he made it to the dance. He made it to the dance 10 times. 10.
You made it. He
Jordan
made it
only
to the
went
dance 6
6.
times. He
No,
went
Jordan
there
made
6 times and won 6 times.
Jordan
Is that
won
what you're
6
saying?
times. He only went 6, right? But he been in the league 16
Okay,
years,
so
which means
it don't matter. See that
9 of those
that
years.
doesn't
No,
matter,
9 of
bro.
those years it
That don't
does matter
matter.
because 9 of
It
those
don't
years he
matter.
did win. Shit, it
It
does.
don't matter because you can't. Listen. You cannot count the times that you're not there. I'm talking about the meat of
What do
the
you
shit.
mean you can't
You're
count the
counting
time that you're not there?
okay. He's been in there
He
for
went 10
15 years.
times.
He
He
played
went to
15
the
years, but
final
those other years that he didn't
16
go,
years.
those other years he
16.
did not go, bro, is like
He
the peas or the mashed potatoes
oh,
or the broccoli or the
don't matter.
whatever the case may be.
Don't matter.
That's just not the meat,
Don't matter.
bro. That is not the
Don't
meat, my
matter.
nigga. When
It
you go
is.
to the final, look, you can't count
Yes, when
midterms
you go
and put them
10
towards your
times.
finals, my G.
What do you mean
You
you can't
can't
count
count
midterms?
midterms
You can
to
when
your
you ain't even
finals, bro.
making it to the finals, bro. You're not even making it there. And when you
Bro,
did,
like I
when you
said,
did, hold on.
like
And
I
when you
said,
did, when you
10 years,
did,
you
and when
went
you
10
did,
times to the dance. Okay,
and
listen,
when you did,
you went
and when
10
you
times to the
did,
dance. You went 10 times to the dance and you only won 4. That's still a losing record, cuz. There is
yeah.
no other
I,
way you can tell me.
I
It
understand
doesn't
that.
matter how long you've been into the
I
league. It don't
understand that.
matter
I
how long
understand
you've
that.
been into the league.
I understand that. But it does. It does. We're not even counting how
Because
many
you're
times
not
we've been in
listen,
the league.
most
We just
what
go say, we
I'm
just go
not
say,
counting the fact
we
that
just go say that, we
nah,
just
bro.
go say that, we just go say that this nigga went to 10 finals on 3 different teams, give or take. Technically,
Mhm.
championships follow that nigga. That nigga won a championship on every team he went to. How about that? Jordan didn't do that. No one in the league
Because he
has
didn't
ever
have
done
to.
that. Of
He didn't
course
have
he
to.
did. When he went to Washington, he wasn't going to. He couldn't. Nigga, what do you mean he didn't have to? He couldn't. If he
There you
could, he
go.
would have. But he couldn't, nigga.
There you go.
Because he wasn't that
There
nigga.
you go.
He
But
wasn't that
that
nigga.
don't mean
You know what I'm saying?
that doesn't. But he wasn't in his prime though at that time either.
So again, we finna let Ryan explain it to you.
I'm
He
not
had
honestly
to
because
play
them
against.
niggas ain't making
People act like he didn't have
making no
anybody to
real
play
sense
with.
to me. No
And
way.
this is
Like
fact.
Scottie
This is
Pippen
fact though.
wasn't as great as Scottie Pippen is. When Jordan was there, they won 57. This nigga left. They won 55 games and was a bad call away from going back to the finals without this nigga. When LeBron James leaves a team, they become a high school roster. If the team, think about this, the team without him can't make the playoffs. Team with him in the finals. I'm sure if he joined a 55-win team without him, that they'd win the finals. Imagine having 55-win team and then add you, the best player in the league. If you don't win the title, nigga, who are you? Scottie Pippen was an MVP candidate. MVP candidate when Jordan left. They were like, yeah, but all he had was Pippen. Soon as Jordan left, Horace Grant became an all-star. B.J. Armstrong became an all-star. Oh yeah, both them niggas was on the team Jordan played on, by the way. Technically, they had 4 all-stars, but the nigga ball hogged so much, 2 of the niggas couldn't make it. That is the truth about Jordan. That's all I'm saying.
Facts
It's
about
the
Jordan
myth.
though.
Nigga. Your Honor, the defense rests.
Oh shit. Right.
Facts about Jordan, nigga. They surrounded that
That
nigga with
shit
prime
still
A
sounds
talent, nigga. Prime A
That
talent.
still
Nigga.
sounds like
He
some
couldn't do it
bullshit
without
because
them, nigga. He couldn't do it without. He
I'm
couldn't
not.
do it with
But
so
no
many
one's
different
saying
cast of people he
no
paid
one's
him
saying
to.
that though.
That's
Nobody's
what I'm saying.
saying that. Nobody's
That's
saying that
what
he
I'm saying
couldn't. But
is,
see, guess what though?
once
He
you know the
made
facts
them
about a
niggas good
situation,
though.
no, he
He
didn't. Them
made
niggas
them
came
niggas
good,
good,
nigga.
bro.
He did not. They came good. That's why when he
He
left,
built
they
them niggas to
stayed
be
good.
good.
He did not, nigga. They came good. That's what I'm trying
Exactly.
to tell you. He
Exactly.
didn't make them
So
good.
so
When
if
he left,
LeBron
they
leaves,
nigga,
if
Scottie
LeBron leaves a
Pippen,
team and
Horace
their
Grant,
shit is shit, you just basically proving the point, brother.
Ron
If
Harper, nigga, no, nigga,
LeBron
they
leaves
were
a
on their
team,
team,
that
nigga,
means that they're not good because he
because he
didn't
makes
make
them
them good.
better,
He didn't
nigga.
give them
He
tools
did make them
enough.
good. He didn't play that
make
game
him. He didn't
himself.
make him good
He
enough.
didn't play them games himself. He didn't go to the finals
He
by
didn't
himself.
make them niggas
Not
good
only
enough.
that, though.
He
Not
didn't
only
make them
that,
niggas
though.
good enough
Hold on. Not only
to
that,
do without
though.
him.
Not only that, though. This
He didn't
nigga
make
was
them niggas good enough to do without him.
This nigga was double doubling every night. This nigga was getting 10, 12 assists every night. What do you mean he wasn't making them better?
Man.
What do you
So
mean?
you're saying that
Way
LeBron
more
James is
better
a
than
GOAT?
Jordan never did. Way more better than
So you're saying
no,
LeBron
I don't give a
James?
fuck about- No, not my GOAT. My GOAT is Kobe
So,
Bryant.
so why are you advocating for the nigga so hard right now, man?
Because I'm saying, nigga, he's a better basketball player than Jordan never was. That's my point. I'm advocating facts. That's my point.
Nah.
You advocating feelings. I'm advocating facts. Nigga.
It's not feelings.
LeBron
it's not
James
feelings,
is a way
bro.
better
The
basketball player
nigga went to
than
the nigga went to the finals and won every
don't
finals he
matter.
ever
That
went
nigga
to,
didn't
bro.
do it by himself, nigga. He had grade
I'm
A
not saying he
motherfuckers around
didn't.
him. Then
I'm not
nobody
saying
that
he
came to that,
didn't.
nobody that came
No
to that
one is saying.
organization was
I'm
whack,
not
nigga.
saying that. I don't know about other
I know.
motherfuckers, but
He
I'm
couldn't do
not
it by
saying
himself.
that the nigga ain't
But
did
LeBron
it. But I'm
could.
not saying that he did it by
Not only
himself.
that,
What
though,
I'm saying
he
is
took subpar players and went to finals.
that nigga had people on his squad. That nigga had people on his squad,
Oh,
just like
pure
Jordan had
unadulterated
people on his
facts,
squad, right?
Yeah.
So
Right, you're
all
right.
I'm saying is that the nigga went 10 times.
Unadulterated
You
facts,
only
bro.
won 4.
Had-
Nigga, you're a fucking failure, bro. I'm sorry.
right.
You are not a GOAT in my eyes. I'm sorry. You went there 10 times. Congratulations. But if you had like 10, if you was 6 and 10, I consider you a good GOAT, my nigga. You're not that good, bro. I'm sorry. You're not that good as far as a
That
GOAT
nigga
is
is a
concerned. You're definitely
better
not better than Michael
basketball
Jackson.
player
Michael Jordan,
than
my
Michael
nigga.
Jordan never
Sorry.
was. A better
Sorry.
basketball player than Michael Jordan ever
No,
was.
sir.
Ever.
No, sir.
Ever.
Never.
Statistically, in all
Statistically padded.
in all of them, outside of having rings,
Statistically padded.
statistically,
But the rings is what
outside of
counts.
rings, outside
The
of
rings
rings,
is what counts.
no, it's not.
The
Though.
rings is what counts. See,
but it's not though.
how
It's
so?
not,
Because
though. If that's a fact, nigga, like I said, nigga,
when we go
Robert
to the
Parrish would be
beginning,
motherfucking
chat,
GOAT.
when you
If
watch
that's
this
a
at the
fact-
beginning again,
if that's a fact,
you
then
got
Robert
to go
Parrish-
back to the beginning. And when he
No,
said
I
it's
think you have to
about
have
the
a ring,
rings,
nigga. I didn't say you have to have
said,
6. Nigga. If
okay,
that's
well,
a fact, like
well,
I
I'm
said,
saying,
like you
bro,
said, nigga,
bro,
Robert Parrish would be the GOAT
you
right
went
now.
there 10 times.
Bill
You
Russell
went
would be
there.
the GOAT right now. Bill Russell would be the GOAT right now.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah,
They
but
didn't.
what do you
they
mean,
didn't.
nigga?
They
Yeah,
didn't do.
but then he
didn't
got
do
11 of them. He
what-
has 11.
Yes.
11.
But
11.
he is a GOAT though.
11.
Everybody knows Bill Russell's a GOAT.
The GOAT, not a GOAT. He would be the GOAT. If championships is what count, he would be the GOAT. We shouldn't even say Michael Jordan name never again. Ever.
That's well, I agree with you on that one. But he's definitely better than motherfucking LeBron. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. You went there 10 times, you only won 4 motherfucking times or 5 times. You went there 12 times and only won 5 times, nigga. You're still a fucking loser in my eyes, nigga, because your fucking stats and your percentage sucks, nigga. Your percentage sucks, my nigga. I don't give a fuck what that means, nigga. I don't care what you say, nigga. You could
LeBron James.
The niggas in the Olympics who went against Michael Phelps, nigga, all won silver and motherfucking nigga. You're not Michael Phelps, my nigga. That's all I'm gonna say. LeBron, you're not fucking Michael Phelps, my nigga. Sorry.
What else you got in basketball? Assistant, or I said passing. All those categories right there, way better basketball player than Michael Jordan.
How many defensive players of the year has LeBron won?
Defensive all time.
How many MVPs? How many MVP final MVPs has he won? How many offensive all-star, all that shit culminates, my nigga. This nigga is not that good. I'm sorry, you're not that good.
And again, like my boy Ryan Davis said, his competition at this position was shit. Pure unadulterated shit.
They were much harder players, though.
No, they weren't. They were shit, nigga. And
man, come on, man.
LeBron James played against some of the greatest competition in basketball ever. Dude, knock it off. All right.
No.
That nigga LeBron James is a way better basketball player than Michael Jordan is. I'll let you
tell it.
The niggas with shoes and all this other shit. He could dunk, but
Dominic
Wilkins was a greater dunker. This nigga, you know what I'm saying? He captivated the people.
Here's the thing, though.
Who agree with
LeBron ain't never did anything of that magnitude, bro.
That's cool.
LeBron
I don't
hasn't
care
done.
about that.
Listen,
I don't care about none of that. I'm talking
it
about
was
I'm talking
LeBron. You
about
know, it was LeBron
basketball.
James's
I'm
fucking
talking about
brainchild for the fucking NBA Finals of this year, right? That bullshit fucking
basketball.
tournament that we got in. That bullshit tournament we got for the NBA All-Star game this year was that nigga brainchild sucks. Okay,
I'm talking
this
about
nigga is not a good
basketball.
nothing now, nigga. Like I said, bro, he's not a good
Basketball.
basketball player in my eyes, bro.
That nigga is the best basketball
You went,
player. To touch a
you went there 10
basketball.
times. You only won 4, nigga. Get the fuck out of
Statistically.
here. You're still a loser, my nigga. You're still a loser.
Statistically.
Final statistically, nigga, you're still a loser, my nigga. So
Yeah.
fuck off.
Every other statistic, though.
Fuck
That
LeBron.
nigga's the
Nigga,
greatest dude to
fuck
touch
that shit.
basketball.
Bullshit.
Period. That's just facts.
Bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Facts.
well, chat, we are at that time. You already know what it is. I mean, hey, this was great conversation.
That's what we do. What happened, nigga? Somebody stole on the DJ? Because that nigga dropped right off. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to that nigga. But, yeah, great conversation, chat. Do all the like and share and the subscribe. I got the button. Where my goddamn button at? I don't find my button. Found it. Like, share, subscribe. Do all that. Be a friend to tell a friend who is a friend to be friendly. And subscribe to this channel. Said we amassed our 300 armies. So, we off and on. About to take over the rest of this young digital space shit and get it on. Again, we'll be doing the young giveaway starting sometime next week. We'll ask for all the information needed. Every subscriber who subscribed to the channel is welcome to get it in. So we're gonna do that. Hit us up in the chat and we'll get it cracking. Until then, peace.